Just giving an update. The dizziness has gone down, thank God. I was able to get some sleep, but my neck feels more fragile than ever, and I can't do anything without a hard collar anymore. Taking a shower is very difficult. Basically, I have to lean up against the wall the whole time and like splash water on myself. I only eat maybe once a day because just getting up is too difficult. Try to stretch my legs and go for a little walk outside. Also once to get out some sun and move around and try to do some exercise while I'm in bed. Because my elbows are getting really weak. I can feel like the pain in them and atrophy. It's really bad. I don't think getting PICL is going to help me much. I'm just so damaged. I mean, I see people that get fusion, and a lot of them are better than me. I can't walk 3 feet without a brace. It's intensely painful. I get the tinnitus you get when like your nerves are being compressed, like that high-pitched sound you always hear in the movies when a bomb goes off. I hear that when I move my head. Sometimes it's really loud. I know it's my nerves because if you squish your brainstem or you're something in your spinal cord and with your vertebrae, other sounds get lower for a split second, and then that volume of that E sound gets slowly louder and then gets quite loud, and then it starts to fade again. And that's when your vertebrae are squishing on your brainstem or some other nerve. So I'm still going to try to go on August 1st. I'm just trying to survive till then. But every minute's awful. It's just hell. I honestly wish I was dead. I'm just saying this so if other people see this, they understand, like, they can kind of equate what they're going through with what I'm going through, maybe what treatment they need based on their symptoms compared to mine. I don't know. I mean, I've seen multiple people, like videos of people that Dr. Bolognese does fusions on, and they seem better than me before they get a fusion, and I'm like, here I am still trying to make regenerative therapy work, and I feel like I'm an idiot. You know, I just feel like there's no way in hell it could work. I think it's also good to talk about my feelings too, because, you know, it's the kind of mindset we're in that doctors don't hear about, family members don't hear about. I'm going to forget next week how I felt today, you know, so I'm trying to record all this in the moment. Like, I'm scared. Every day I'm scared of moving, I'm scared of eating, I'm scared of drinking water, I'm scared of going to the bathroom. Talking makes it worse. It's just, I don't know anyone. Like when you ask people what they went through, you know, 3 months ago before they got a fusion, they just tell you, you know, I was having a hard time. It's like, what does that mean? So that's why I make these videos, because it's like if you make it while it's happening, if you record stuff while it's happening, it's accurate. If you don't, then it's just not. Period. I mean, unless it's very simple, you know. There's just like one line of text or one piece of information, but this is the whole state of mind, collection of symptoms, feelings, thoughts, so it's too much to remember. Yeah, I'm happy that dizziness isn't so bad. Then it was like if I move my head left and right, I don't get much dizziness at all, if any. But like I don't want to like pick my head up without like supporting my head from the back to like pull it up. Now I've been doing a thing where like I put this around the front and then I slide the back part around the back, and then I pull it on this side, and then I roll out of bed while it's like, and then get up and tighten it, and it seems okay to do that. And like I feel my muscles, because if you feel your muscles afterward on your neck, if you have CCI and you feel your muscles, if anything's really tight, that means it's compensating for ligament either damage or strain. And I don't really feel any tightness. So I'm like, as long as the muscles aren't hurting, as long as I don't have a lot of pain and tightness, then I'm okay. Because you don't really feel like the ligaments themselves being damaged. And I get up for short periods of time, so I don't feel like the ligament. I don't feel like intense burning or anything, but I can feel around and say like, okay, if I on the top left, right under the base, on the top of the base of my skull, directly to the left of the middle, like half an inch to the left, I'm feeling that muscle there, and if that's a little warm, a little tender, that means I was compensating. That means I was straining my alar ligament, and also different muscles elsewhere can strain too to try and compensate for. Like your whole neck, all down to your shoulder, and your traps can tighten up. Everything can tighten up to compensate for CCI. But with that one particular spot at the base of your skull, on left and right of the spine, about a half inch either direction. That's generally for like your C1 movement around. And I'm pretty sure it's alar movement that, and then when that tightens up, and I have overhang on the left, and the left side tightens up to try and hold things in place, so it makes sense. I'm more unstable, like if I tilt my head to the left. But the neck brace has been working okay, but it still hurts, like if I try to do too much, so like I'm not trying to do the dishes or anything, I'll like rinse a cup or a dish or something. I'll get easy to eat foods, like I grab vegetables from the fridge and get a bunch, take them back to the room, stick them on the bed, like on a big napkin or something. I'll just and a bottle of water. I just chew them when and they're healthy. I did grab a few Cheetos because I'm like, God help me, I need some comfort food. But yeah, I'm really hoping I can make it on August 1st without severely injuring myself. Because I don't know when, I don't imagine anyone's going to be able to do surgery. I mean, it might be, even in an emergency, it might be a month before I can see a surgeon, maybe 2 months. I don't know. I don't even know if I trust Bolognese, given that he's like, hey, do traction on your neck, which is fucked. You think he'd say something like, hey, I know I've hurt lots of people before doing this, so before you hurt yourself, why don't you do traction and just do it lightly? Be very careful. If you start to experience any pain, let me know. Because up to about 10 pounds, like if you say you put like a weight on the traction device and you pull it, say it's an over door traction device, like you have a 10-pound free weight or something, and you pull it over, that's the amount of weight I'd like you to put on your head. And then, so that amount of pulling that you should do, that's how much weight I want you to pull in. I want you to put on your head. I want how much strain I want on this thing. So if you could approximate that. And I suppose what you could do is you could put a 10-pound weight on one side, and then on the other side of the door you sit and you have someone else slowly let go of the weight, and and then if you're okay with like if they only like take some of the weight, or you could even hold it yourself, just reach on the door and just slowly bring your arm down and let go of some of the weight, and then if you feel pain, pull it back up and just unattach the weight because you don't want to hurt yourself. Something like that. Some instruction to say like, and that's the max weight you could do to simulate the 10-pound weight. So you can carefully ease yourself into it. And now here's just some kind of instruction. It's not terrible. Just like, hey, try traction. Like, try traction is, like, for a CCI patient is really bad. And you might think like, who are you, Brennan? What do you know? I'm someone that's been a technical writer for 8 years or 9 years, writing instructions that are far superior to any teacher you've ever had, any instructional manual you've ever had. Like, I write instructions and I give instructions better than anyone you've ever met and probably will ever meet. And I don't say that because like I'm so amazing. Like if I showed you what I did, you'd be like, oh, that's it? I'd be like, yeah, that's it. But it's just people don't take the time to do that, and they don't understand the result. They don't understand the consequence of omitting small details. And this is a very serious situation where I'm given a very rudimentary set of instructions that suck from a doctor or a doctor's assistant, and it's really bad. It's exceptionally stupid and ignorant and dangerous to just say, hey, try some traction out. You are a neurosurgeon who has done this over 1,000 times. You know exactly how to safely do it at home. You should be giving people a complete set of instructions that anyone can read the first time and get right the first time with no mistakes, because they're thorough and have been trialed on multiple people, and you've gotten feedback from multiple people and you've taken that into account. Instructions are like writing a novel. Like, the first draft always sucks, right? So you do it, and maybe the 50th, the 60th iteration, you get this perfect. And so, like, that's what patients should be getting. Like, this is how you do traction if you have CCI, and we're getting, hey, just try it. You need to try it. And it's like, it's not, and I'm not even asking, it's not like, it might take like a few hours of his time, Dr. Bolognese and assistants. It's not like I'm asking him to take a month off, It's like, just every time you talk to patients about the traction they've done, the feedback they have, how they did it, a proper approach to it. Like, hey, have patients do a video and show you, and you could even make a video for patients who have CCI and say, do traction like this. I'm Dr. Bolognese. Here's me doing traction on myself, and I have CCI, and I need to be very careful. And here's how you do it at home. Or maybe those videos exist, but they were telling me about them. And but that's something we should be getting. That's insane to not do that. Yeah. So there's that, and I guess also for PICL, it would be really good to get some sort of standard procedure for how to travel with damaged ligaments, and then also standard procedure, which obviously could vary greatly but I mean, there's how to get a custom fit neck brace when you have CCI. Where's that video on how to do that from regenexx? For traveling, that doesn't exist. It could exist, and we have many people from the group and the regenexx doctors have that information, and if they combine their knowledge, they would be able to save people a lot of time, money, energy, pain, suffering, by correctly finding and wearing the correct neck brace. Also, physical therapy, how to ease into it, because exercising damaged ligaments, I rehabbed my knees, my hips, and rehabbing your connective tissue is different, because while you're rehabbing it, you don't feel anything, generally, unless you're really overdoing it. Because muscle gives you immediate pain feedback, ligaments don't, unless you're really overdoing it. So if you do 10 push-ups and you're damaging a ligament in your elbow or tendon in your elbow, you're not going to feel it till the next day. So that's why it's you should have some kind of thing that says if you are unable to really walk, try standing for 30 seconds, try standing for just a minute, and then see how you feel the next day. Not an hour from now, the next day. And then you're like, okay, I don't really feel any negative consequence to that. All right, today I'm going to do a minute 30 standing or walking. And it might sound very slow, but eventually you get to the point where you're standing and walking 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour a day. And then, then you start to get into really building muscle and connective tissue and stabilizing yourself and all that. I know it's slow, but and I imagine they're it seems to me, I see a lot of people from the PICL group, they talk about oh, I was doing fine and then I got hurt, and I say that all the time. And I see all these people I had some progress and the progress stopped. Or I think I'd imagine if the physical therapy was better, people would need, maybe if they needed 3 PICLs, they'd need 2, or if they need 2 PICLs, they'd need 1. I think it's that significant where people are injuring themselves and they're needing more treatments than they would otherwise need. I mean, accidents can happen. You always fall down the stairs, but like I'm talking about stuff we have control over, and we're screwing up. So that seems kind of lacking with regenexx, where they'll be like, hey, you got to do some movements and exercises. Good luck, and it's like, okay. I mean, nobody knows what that means. I mean, like I've been an athlete for 39 years. I don't know what that means. Like if I don't know what that means, who does? I mean, it's just too vague. Like so. I'm not like an athlete, like professional, but I mean in like athletics and sports have been a major part of my life, and along with that, uh, connective tissue injuries, strains, etc. Anyway, that's what's going on with me. Just trying to get through it, 1 minute at a time. This fucking hell. Every day I wish that euthanasia was legal, because this is a special kind of hell, man. It's not right for people to have to suffer this way. It'd be different if like regenexx was everywhere and orthopedic surgeons were aware of this and like how to do like CCI surgery and stuff like that. But like the wait times that we have to endure, the gaslighting that we have to endure, the fact that our systems, like if I had been treated, in January 2021 when I needed treatment, none of this would be a problem. But doctors weren't even aware of this stuff. And then the doctors, I did say, like I had neck problems and stuff. They're like, no, you don't. You don't have ligament damage. Tinnitus can't be caused by that. You can't have internal jugular vein compression. You can't. And I followed them for a year just to get tests and stuff like that. So it's like, all that shit, it's like, it's fucked up, man. Like people still don't know, like you can get curve correction to fix your internal jugular vein compression on your C1. It's people do it, fix it all the time. Dr. Hutchinson, Dr. Middleton fix it every week. Patients every week where they fix their internal jugular veins, but with non-surgical means. I'm not saying that's the only reason a C1 can squash it, but generally, if you're C1 squashing your IJV, it's because your neck is straight, you lost your curve, and you have ligament damage. So you need to fix the ligaments. But you also need to restore the curve. And nobody talks about like regenexx will see a nasty curve and be like, that's not good, and won't say shit. Won't be like, you need to do curve correction. They don't say that. Even Dr. Rose is like, you don't need to do curve correction. I see chiropractors like, curve correction, who gives a crap? And it's like, it's stupid. It's just stupid. I mean, like, if you don't believe me, just go look at people on YouTube who've had curve correction on their neck before and after. And there's thousands of them. Literally. You just go look, just videos of people like, oh my God, my life was hell, and now my neck curve's fixed. Now it's not hell anymore. And it's like, how many more videos do you need? Like, the thing is, doctors, I don't think, like, watch any videos and go on any Facebook groups. I think doctors, like, aren't aware that the internet exists because it's too fragile to their ego. I don't know. I just wish doctors could understand that they are not special people. And, like, maybe, like, 3 out of every 100 doctors is aware that, like, they aren't the shit and God's gift to humanity, and they're just regular people who are idiots, just like the rest of us. And they need to work with other people. They need to constantly learn, and they need to be open to being wrong and making mistakes. Because if you don't do that, if you don't check your ego at the door, then you're putting your patients at risk, and you're a worse doctor for it. It's the same for any profession, whether you're a car mechanic or a bus driver or whatever. If you if you go around thinking you're the shit, then you're not going to try anymore. And you're not going to accept new ideas, and other people are going to be better than you, and your poor performance at your job is going to hurt everyone around you. So, I just wish doctors could understand that. Like, you're not better than the rest of us. I'm not saying you're not good people, right? Like, and there are doctors out there who are genuinely good, caring people who would just literally give their lives to save their patients, and they're so caring and so dedicated. But most doctors, like, if you're a doctor that just comes to work and you're like, I'm just going to do an adequate job, then what are you so proud of? Like, you're not Superman. Like, you're just doing it. You're just phoning it in half the time. Like, what are you so proud of? I don't understand it. Like, but if you are a hardworking doctor, then you know who you are, because everyone else around you is a lazy piece of crap. And there are places where you have multiple doctors working in the same place that are dedicated, but still you got the ego. Like I've seen that where they just can't handle being wrong. Like, oh, the thing I've been doing for 10 years is not the way to do it. Like I can't hear that, and it's like, I'm sorry, you're a medical professional. You got to be able to hear you wrong, not just from me, but from your coworkers, from other people in your like the stuff I'm talking about. It's not from me. It's from doctors. Like I'm talking about what I've learned. Like I'll talk to a neurosurgeon about what I learned from a regenerative therapy doctor, or vice versa, and they're like, no, that's bullshit. And it's like, no, look, you guys need to talk to each other, okay? Because like you both know things that the other doesn't know, and you're not talking. And guess who's suffering? Us. We're literally dying because of this, and no one cares. If I slowly die of some unusual disease in a bed and I, develop neurological symptoms that last me the rest of my life, like, and they deny me disability and I pass away in my bed, or I'm forced to commit suicide because like the symptoms are so bad. Not that I don't want to commit suicide, I don't have plans to. I'm just saying, like, if someone's like, you're just going to slowly die over the course of the next 5 years, there's no cure, and it's just going to hurt it worse every day. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you're just going to sit there and just shit the bed every day, or, that's why people do unfortunately commit suicide because of health problems that happens to thousands of people every year. And a lot of it could be prevented if doctors would get their heads out of their asses. Anyway, off the soapbox.